Hi guys, and welcome to this new video! I am really excited for this one, so in this video I'm gonna show you my late night poetry that basically my last brain cell wrote.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
So we're gonna see what we are in here for. I would like to give a note here. Those poems may trigger you if you're suffering from depression or suicidal thoughts. So if you suffer from that, I would not recommend to watch this video because I produced them in a moment where I feel that way. But for me, it's just a moment. These are the moments that I process in my poems, and I'm just gonna read them to you. They're very dramatic, they're very over the top. I wrote all of them at night. I'm just gonna read Everything Makes Sense because it's the first poem I wrote. Okay, everything makes sense. In one moment, everything made sense. You see it all, you just get it. Your life comes together like the last piece in a puzzle, and you understand. Oh reality, don't take it away from me. I know you will eventually rip my dreams and fantasies apart. Oh, give me this moment of remedy to heal my soul and see through the haze of sorrow, fear, regret, and empty space. Stuck in my head, no place for others. Am I selfish? I don't know. I feel like I'm pretending, putting on a show. Isn't everyone selfish? I ran out of room to grow. Just for space, I wish. Burst through the ceiling, jumped off the railing, clouds drowning in blood. Let's hope it will all be good. Oh, cruel claws of reality, rip me apart. Okay, so basically what I was talking about here, I was just like sitting on this bed and there was like the sunset going on, and that's the clouds drowning in blood. And I don't know if you know it or if you've experienced it before, but sometimes there's just a moment where you just pause and you think, wow, everything makes sense. And I was talking about, being in that moment, but then already knowing that it's gonna fade away very, very soon. And that's the sort of clause of reality I was talking about. In the end, reality does take away the moment. But yeah, that's basically the topic of this whole poem. It's just, my thoughts, and I wanted to share them because that's what this YouTube channel is for. The next one is called Blank Page. A few days ago I had this creative, rush or flow sort of thing. Every time I get like a creative flow or rush, I can't remember what I wrote afterwards. So I really don't know the contents of this. I know that it's about that you can't fill the blank page and whatever. But let's just jump in and see what my brain cell had to say. Blank page. I can't fill this blank page. You may now wonder that by writing this, I am. I might be filling this page, but what if I have nothing to say? When saying it, does it change? Sometimes I just can't express myself. Or do I just have nothing to say? Who knows what goes on in my brain? I don't really know it myself. I don't really know myself. Isn't it sad? Identity? No, I'm not going down this road again because, to tell the truth, I don't really have anything to say. Sitting here in the dark, too late to go, too early to sleep, too doubtful to pray. If I may, gracious Lord in heaven, please go away. Why did that thought fill me with sudden joy? Am I real? Is this real? Or am I just a story to tell? This page suddenly isn't blank anymore, but I am. How do I change? So this one is a very chaotic poem, I would say. It's probably the most chaotic of all of them. My head was just so confused and I felt blank, like the page I was looking at. And I just wrote whatever came into my head, so that's why it's maybe so chaotic. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is called Will I Ever Be Painless? To explain that, there is a song called Blue Cellophane by Baby Jake. Maybe you know it. I just listened to that song and I was like feeling really inspired by it. It's a pretty slow song and a pretty chill song. It was not slow enough for me, so I listened to it on like half the speed so that it was slow enough for me. Will I Ever Be Painless is a line in this song, so that's what inspired me to write this poem. Let's see what my brain cell came up with here. Will I ever be painless? I need to switch off the light. Now that it's dark, I can listen to my thoughts. Or can I? Are they mine? Am I mine? Feeling out of place, out of mind, out of soul. All I can do is vibe, even if it sounds hilarious. But who would be laughing? No one knows. If I'll ever be painless, would I be human? I don't want to be a demon. Need to slow down the speed. Am I myself when I am tired or awake? When it's early or when it's late? I'd love to know. I feel so different. Can I be whole? Am I normal? Do I care? So the last do I care sounds like a question, but I made it as a sentence because in that moment it didn't feel right to end it with a question. So I ended it with a full stop and it sort of feels more right. In this poem I'm basically talking about, well, I was sitting here and the light was switched on and I was like, no, I need to switch it off. And then I just thought about my existence and identity, which is basically what all those poems are about. One line strikes me especially, which is, am I myself when I'm tired or awake, when it's early or when it's late? Because I feel so different. In the mornings I feel vibrant and full of energy, full of optimism, and then at night when I'm tired I feel empty, very, very empty, and I feel fearful and thoughtful and, you know, all these kinds of things. I don't know where I heard it, but I think it was those Instagram thread, cutesy self-care aesthetic threads, and it basically said people are more honest when they're tired. So I was like, is that what I am? Like, am I really this empty? Is that my true self? That's what I was talking about in this poem. Okay, so let's move on. The feeling of emptiness. Pure, hopeless, utter emptiness. What if I died today, in this second, this moment? I don't know if I would care. Life is so bizarre. I feel like losing the control I never had. Will my hope come back? In those moments of emptiness, I am not sure how it could ever. Not sure when I will feel better. I sometimes think it will be never. This of course sounds really, really depressing. What I wanted to say with it is not that I want to kill myself or something. It was just a, thought experiment type of thing, because in that moment I was just feeling so blank that I was like, oh, what if I died? Would I care? But of course I would. When I feel that way, like empty and whatever, I really can't imagine myself being full of life and full of joy as I am in the mornings usually. So that's kind of interesting, but in those moments I can't imagine, but of course I am. Okay, got that? Next one. Oh, last one. Okay, so the last one is called No Offense. Let's go. No offense. Staring at my screen, looking for my thoughts, trying to grasp. like feathers in the mist, so light, so easily gone, just letting me get the gist, hiding in the haze. I'm not gonna rhyme that with maze. That line felt out of place. But so do I. Now we're partners, partners in crime. I need some new space. My eyes are tired, or am I? The screen is so pure, so white. Feels cruel to write, to fill it with words, letters, nonsense. But nothing makes sense. No offense. Honestly, as I'm looking back right now, I really like this one actually. It's not as sad as the other ones. It's kind of more random, but it has more rhyme in it. I don't really look for rhymes when writing down my thoughts. I don't really focus on rhyming, but in this one I really got some good rhymes out of here, out of that one. So I'm actually quite impressed with myself actually.
Meanwhile,
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
I think the last no offense is sort of aimed at the people that act like they know everything or do everything, which is me, of course, sometimes. But in the end, this world is so chaotic and so unpredictable and so unfair and really doesn't make sense. And this is actually what we're seeing and happening all over the world right now, where black people are being prosecuted and killed and murdered cruelly just for being black, which makes no sense and which is so unjust and unfair. And that line with the I'm not gonna rhyme that with maze, I was not scared to put it in because I did and I like it, but it was just something so spontaneous, like, oh, haze, and I was like, oh, maybe I can find a good rhyme for that. I was like, maze, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna rhyme that with maze. And then I was like, oh my god, this line felt totally out of place, and I was like, oh my god. So that was sort of my thought process here. Yeah, it's kind of funny how we went from a moment where everything makes sense to no offense, where one of the lines is nothing makes sense. So it's really funny to recognize that actually, because it's just so different. Yeah, all those poems were very dramatic. If you've got any writing tips for me, please put them in the comments. I need you. Especially for my poetry, I really need you, okay? I really need you guys. So I think that's all for this video. Maybe I will show you some more poetry or even writing if I produce more. I have a lot of short stories on hand. I could read some of that if you'd like. That would be fun for me at least, so I had really much fun filming this video. On my channel, I love it because I just do whatever I fucking want to do. Because I'm not monetized, I can say everything, I can film everything I want to, have really no limitations to my creativity, and I can share everything that I want to, and I feel really appreciated for that, you know. And of course I don't have a big audience and all, and most of the views I get are like really, the last 3 videos have received maybe 20 to 30 views in total. So, but I've also had a video receive 1,500 views, so it can just be so random and crazy like that. And I want to really thank you guys for making this opportunity mine and for listening to my crazy dramatic poems and thoughts, and for listening to me ramble, and I could go on for hours. I'm so happy to be filming videos. I really enjoy it, and that's just what I wanted to say at this point. So have a good day. If you don't know, my upload day is Friday. No specific time, just whenever I feel like it. Check out my last videos and my Glow Up With Me playlist. Check out my other series I have produced, and I love you. I love you guys. I love you too. My plants, I love you. And bye!